But tonight on the show, like I said, it is the big follow-up to NDTV's agenda-setting interview with Sahil Dhaneshra's mother that has rattled, outraged and broken hearts across this country. Depth, dishonesty and depravity, and a father still trying to shield his minor son who was driving the Scorpio that killed young Sahil. We will not rest here on NDTV, and I am following up tonight. At 8:30, I have a world exclusive. 9 months after Operation Sindoor, the airstrike that actually forced Pakistan to come to the ceasefire table. It spooked Pakistan, it rattled the United States and put India in the most dominant strategic position. One interview, a world exclusive, comes up at 8:30 that completely changes this story. Let's get started with our lead story tonight.
मेरा बच्चा, उसकी बाइक के 3 टुकड़े, स्पोर्ट्स बाइक इतनी भारी बाइक के 3 टुकड़े हो रखे थे। मेरा बच्चा रोड पे पड़ा था।
बोर्ड एग्जाम लेने के लिए बेल मिल गया उसको?
यस, उसको इंटरिम बेल पे अभी। ये लोग रील्स बनाने के लिए, फन के लिए निकले थे। मेरा बच्चा 50 फुट ऊपर हवा में उड़ के नीचे गिरा है। मेरे बच्चे को उड़ा।
So I cannot replace Sahil, but I promise you, in front of the entire country, I give you my word that we will get Sahil justice. I promise you. Last night on this show, you heard the voice of a mother no parent should ever have to become. Sahil Dhaneshra's mother, Inna Makan, spoke through grief that was raw, unbearable and real. And I don't think anybody is ever going to forget this interview. The country saw her, heard her, and today that interview has become, I'm told, the most watched interview of the year. And I'll tell you why I'm not surprised, viewer. Because sometimes one voice, her voice, cuts through all the noise. One story shakes a nation awake. That conversation that I had with her last night that you saw live did more than just trend. It sent tremors across the country. You're still feeling it. Open your phones, you'll see it for yourself. It shook sections of the national media out of their politics obsession and forced attention onto a case that might otherwise have slipped quietly through the cracks and into the shadows. But even as the glare of national attention now fixes itself on this Delhi road tragedy, what I am discovering is something disturbingly familiar. A careful, almost predictable campaign of protection. The kind we see every time a minor is found behind the wheel in a fatal crash. The first thing this coward 17-year-old Scorpio driver did in this new case was lie about his age. Just think about that for a second. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew how the system bends when the word minor appears. Whether the crime is rape, violence or fatal rash driving, India has taught its entitled children one thing. If it's possible for you to do so, be dishonest and lie about it one way or the other. Why? Because it was only after documents surfaced that the truth actually came out. This boy is 17 years old, not 19 years old. And the father giving lame excuses for the killer's son's deed. Why did you hand a powerful SUV to an underage boy? Why were there 13 challans, most for speeding? Why are you lying and saying you had no idea that your son was driving the car? Who are you trying to kid by saying that the challans have nothing to do with the boy? Why did you let this continue? Sahil's blood is on the driver's father's hands. Instead, there is this attempt to build a narrative that the boy is depressed now, that the family of the offenders is in gloom, that this useless teenager is depressed and troubled, that he is a victim as well. Even more disturbing, activists of all kinds are now reaching out to media houses. Even I got some calls, carefully trying to dilute focus from the underage driver, trying to suggest Sahil was equally responsible for his own death since he tried to overtake a bus and came on the wrong side and rammed into the Scorpio, as this video has revealed. Now, let me say this very clearly, because on India Matters, we believe in being 100% transparent with our viewers. I have zero sympathy, viewer, for parents who put machines of death into the hands of their children. Sahil Dhaneshra did not die in an accident. He was killed because a careless Delhi father thought, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, सब करते हैं. He handed his spoiled, reckless children a massive SUV so they could speed through Delhi and shoot Instagram reels. I said it yesterday and I will say it again tonight and I will keep saying it. No distraction, no dilution, no narrative management, no rest till justice for Sahil is served.
मैंने अपने बच्चे को लास्ट टाइम ऐसे देखा है.
A reckless minor on the wheels of a speeding car. A 23-year-old crushed to death. A mother's world comes crashing down in a flash. Sahil's tragic death and mother's wails for justice have shaken the country. A new video from inside the raging Scorpio shows the moments when the minor driving it rammed into Sahil's bike head-on in Delhi's Dwarka area earlier this month. The co-passenger, believed to be the minor's sister, was busy making reels when the deadly crash happened. The impact flung Sahil in the air and he landed on the road. His cramped bike and autopsy report bear witness to the impact. Sahil died of hemorrhage. The report also mentions a blood clot under the scalp and a skull fracture on the left side of his head, with multiple rib fractures. His inconsolable mother says that Sahil didn't get medical help in time.
मेरा बच्चा रोड पे पड़ा था. वहां से मैं अब 10 मिनट में चिल्लाती रही, मुझे समझ नहीं आया. मैं चिल्लाती रही 10 मिनट रोड पे. उसके बाद वहां पे एम्बुलेंस खड़ी थी पर बच्चा हॉस्पिटल नहीं पहुंचा था.
The minor who was arrested after the crash is out on bail for his board exams. NDTV has now learnt that his father, who let the unlicensed minor drive the car, will be booked.
एक्यूज था, उसने इनिशियली अपनी एज जो थी वो 19 साल बताई और उसके बाद उसके फादर को बुलाया गया, सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स लाए गए तो उसकी एज 17 साल कुछ महीने निकली है. फादर को भी हम चार्जशीट कर रहे हैं एमवी एक्ट के तहत.
Sahil's room is a tragic reminder of a life full of passion and ambition, all cut short too soon. These scribblings on the wall of Sahil's room are a testimony to a young boy full of dreams and plans for the life ahead. An only child brought up by a single mother, her whole world brutally snatched from her.
मैं अपने बच्चे की अच्छी लाइफ देखना चाहती हूँ. मैं उसका वो हाल नहीं देखना चाहती जो मैंने पूरी जिंदगी यहाँ पे देखा है, जो टॉर्चर देखा है हर जगह, सोशली, काम पे, कॉर्पोरेट में, हर जगह, यहाँ के सिस्टम पे. मैंने पहले मेरा बेटा बाहर जाने वाला था, उसका लास्ट सेमेस्टर चल रहा था.
It's not only one family that has been shattered by the rash act of this minor. The speeding Scorpio also rammed this taxi parked on the roadside, injuring the driver. Ajit Singh, the sole breadwinner of the family, now bedridden, recalls how the Scorpio was speeding up when it crashed.
पीछे से वो स्कॉर्पियो काफी स्पीड से थी, उसने नीचे बाइक अड़ रखी थी. तो मैं जब तक उतरने की वो करता, जब तक उसने पीछे से मेरी गाड़ी में ही मार दी. क्या ये तो बस भगवान का वो है कि मैं बच गया, नहीं तो फिर मेरे परिवार का क्या होता.
The SUV had been issued 13 challans of violation tickets in the past, of which 9 were for speeding.
और माँ का बच्चा नहीं जाना चाहिए सर. I beg from the nation, please stop this.
The father of the teenager who was driving that Scorpio has tried to paint a very sorry picture He's tried to say, my son is depressed, the entire family is in gloom, and yet the instinct of the family was to lie about the boy's age right after Sahil was killed. Should the father be held accountable? Should charges be applied against the father as well? Should the dad be jailed for his killer teen? Why give a car to an underage son? Is anybody buying this rubbish that the father didn't know that his son was driving a Scorpio? First, tried to pass off the teen as a 19-year-old, because obviously driving without a license means you're going to be in a hell of a lot more trouble than to say you're 19 years old and maybe say that I didn't have my license at the time. Kids being given a big car so that they can record reels. The police is investigating that, we're told. Can the father evade responsibility for the crime by trying to gain sympathy from the media? Sahil's blood is on the teenage father's hands. He tried to go to other media, tried to curry favor with them because he was scared of answering NDTV's questions, but finally he had to face my colleague Mukesh Sengar, who is the only journalist to ask him any tough questions. Everyone else was asking them silly puppy dog questions. Here's that conversation with the father who has blood on his hands.
एक नाबालिग बच्चे को आप स्कॉर्पियो गाड़ी दे रहे हैं और वो दुर्घटना करता है, इसके लिए आप किसको रिस्पॉन्सिबल मानते हैं?
देखिए, मैं मौजूदा हालत घर में नहीं था, मैं बाहर था और बच्चा अनजाने में गलती कर दिया है।
अनजाने में गलती कर दिया?
गलती कर दिया, अनजान मतलब वो लेके गलत कर दिया, ये बहुत गलत है। मैं शर्मिंदा।
गाड़ी के 13 चालान है, इसके पहले ओवर स्पीड के चालान हुए हैं और भी चालान हुए हैं। अगर ये गलती एक बार करता, बार बार चालान आ रहे थे, आपने क्यों ध्यान नहीं दिया बेटी?
मेरे जो बिजनेस नेचर है वो कमर्शियल व्हीकल का बिजनेस नेचर है। मेरी गाड़ी ड्राइवर चलाते हैं, मेरे पास जो बिजनेस में वो गाड़ी इन्वॉल्व है, जो हमारे ड्राइवर ले जाते हैं, जो हमारे ट्रकों का काम है कमर्शियल व्हीकल का, उसमें हमारे ड्राइवर से चलान है, ना कि उस बच्चे से चलान है कोई भी।
कभी मना किया आपने उसको कि गाड़ी मत चलाओ? कभी समझाया आपने उसको?
नहीं, हमारे संज्ञान में नहीं था जो गाड़ी चलाता है।
तो वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ आपसे कि संज्ञान में बार बार उसके चालान गाड़ी की हो रहे थे और आप कह रहे हैं संज्ञान में नहीं था।
नहीं, चालान तो हमारे स्टाफ द्वारा जो है, जो हमारे कर्मचारी है कंपनी में, ड्राइवर है, वो यूज़ करते हैं, उनके थ्रू हुआ है।
आपके बेटे ने जब घटना हुई तो बताया कि मेरी उम्र 19 साल है, बाद में जांच हुई तो उम्र 17 साल निकली।
नहीं, ये वहाँ के शोर शराबे में उसका हेल्दी शरीर देखने से पब्लिक द्वारा कोई कुछ बोल रहा था, कोई कुछ बोल रहा था। घटनास्थल का आप समस्या को समझ सकते हैं। मेरे नज़र में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। जो दस्तावेज है हमने जो पुलिस प्रशासन द्वारा दिया वो सत्य दिया, और जो जेन्युइन है वही दिया।
जो विक्टिम फैमिली है उसके लिए क्या कहना चाहते हैं आप? बहुत सदमे में है, एक बेटा खो दिया, सिंगल मदर है, वो क्या कहना चाहते हैं आप?
मैं उस फैमिली का दुख के लिए मैं पूरा जीवन आभारी रहूँगा। मैं सदैव आपसे यही कहूँगा चैनल के माध्यम से, मुझे बहुत अफसोस है, मैं इसको बयान नहीं कर सकता।
And please forgive me, but I have absolutely no sympathy for the parents of the Scorpio driver. They say that they are feeling sorry right now for the family of young Sahil. But where was that empathy and sympathy when they allowed their murderous, useless coward of a juvenile into a Scorpio in the first place? Joining me live now is Ankit Kumar Singh, the Deputy Commissioner of Police in Dwarka, under whose jurisdiction this accident took place and whose investigation is being carried out at this point of time. Mr. Singh, thank you for your time here on NDTV. The driver of this Scorpio initially tried to lie or misrepresent his age. Mr. Singh, why did that happen, sir?
जो इनिशियल जो इंक्वायरी प्रिलिमिनरी इंक्वायरी थी उस टाइम पे उस बच्चे से पूछा गया था, तो उसने अपनी जो एज बताई थी वो 19 ईयर बताई थी। उसके पीछे उसका रीज़न जो था वो इनिशियल पैनिक था, वो एक्सीडेंट था और उसके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं थे, तो इमीडिएटली उसके पेरेंट्स को बुलाया गया। जब वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेकर आया और सारा वेरिफिकेशन किया तो उसकी एज जो थी वो 17 साल 3-4 मंथ्स थी।
Mr. Singh, ये accused है कहाँ अभी? Where is the accused right now, this juvenile? What action is being taken against him?
जिस दिन FIR रजिस्टर हुई है, इमीडिएटली जब जुवनाइल जब एज वेरिफिकेशन से पता चला कि जुवनाइल है तो उसको इमीडिएटली जुवनाइल जस्टिस बोर्ड है वहाँ पे उसको अप्रहेंड करके प्रोड्यूस किया गया और जुवेनाइल जस्टिस बोर्ड ने उसको 3 तारीख को ही ऑब्जर्वेशन होम भेज दिया था। 10 तारीख को उसको एग्ज़ामिनेशन के ग्राउंड्स पे अंतरिम रिलीफ मिला है और अभी वो अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ है।
Okay, so right now he is out, and on the 7th of March, we are told he will be presented back at the Juvenile Justice Home. After NDTV's reporting, Mr. Singh, will the father of the accused also be made an accused? Will action be taken against him also? Is he being investigated, sir?
जो जुवेनाइल है उसके फादर को इमीडिएटली वहाँ पे अप्रहेंड करके रखा गया और एज़ पर लॉ उसको बाउंड डाउन किया गया और एमवी एक्ट के सेक्शन 199A के तहत उसको चार्जशीट भी किया जाएगा। नहीं, हमने उसको इनिशियल ही उसको एक्यूज बना लिया और चार्जशीट में उसको चार्जशीट भी करेंगे।
What support, final question, Mr. Singh, what support is the police providing to Inna Makan and the grieving family, the mother who has spoken out? What support, if any, is the police providing to her?
जो मदर है, मैं खुद ही पर्सनल बहुत मैं मिल चुका हूँ और साथ ही साथ हमारे एसीपी द्वारका हैं जो कंटिन्यूअसली उनके टच में थे और उनकी जो भी क्वेरी थी उन सब का उनको जवाब दिया गया। उनको पीएम रिपोर्ट या जो भी एज वेरिफिकेशन वाली बात है वो सारी उनको बताई गई थी और नो डाउट बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट ये इंसिडेंट है और उनको जो भी रिलीफ मिलेगा हम जितना जल्दी हो सकेगा इसको चार्जशीट करेंगे। जो डार है डिटेल एक्सीडेंट रिपोर्ट उसको भी टाइमली कोर्ट में देंगे सो दैट कि जो कंपनसेशन है उसको एक्सपेडाइट किया जा सके।
Ankit Kumar Singh, thank you for speaking to NDTV. I'll leave it there because I know the investigation is currently on. I don't want to preempt anything, but NDTV has clearly applied the pressure and made some of these wheels turn perhaps just a little faster. Now, viewer, since last night, I thought I would bring Inna Makan back on my show tonight, but given how everyone has gone to her and interviewed her today, I cannot imagine what she has been going through today. I want to acknowledge that as a media person today. A grieving mother whose face went out to millions of people from NDTV studios last night has spoken out across the land today to hundreds of media outlets. Her story is out there. So tonight, I did not want to bother her. On India Matters, I wanted to leave her family alone. I'm in touch with them. I will update you when I hear from them. But I want you to hear from 3 families who have similarly lost their loved ones to underage drivers. And these are all cases that I have been tracking very closely. On my show tonight, Om Prakash Avadhia, who is the father of young Anish Avadhia, who was killed in the famous Pune Porsche case. In that case, it was an underage driver. Shilpa Mittal, sister of Siddharth Sharma, who died after a Mercedes being driven by an underage driver in 2016, 10 years ago, is also live with me. Shilpa, welcome. Harshil Bhadra is a friend of Dhrumil Patel, a man who was killed on February the 5th in a hit and run in Mumbai, in which the driver of the car was again a minor. And Dolly is the sister of Meenal Patel, the wife of Dhrumil, who is fighting for her life in hospital in that same case. Once again, in that case also, it was a minor. Dolly, I want to come to you first. Your sister is fighting for her life. Meenal is fighting for her life in hospital right now. In this case also, just like in Sahil's case, it was an underage driver who was driving an SUV that crashed into the scooter in which Dhrumil and Meenal were riding. What are your thoughts today as you see the Sahil story? Same thing getting repeated over and over again.
I think the law has to take some action. They have to change the amendment. They have to change some amendment. The law has to take some actions against the minors. The minors right now are not minors. They can drive cars, they can ride, they can party, they can enjoy, they can vape, they can pull shisha. Then why they are treated as minors? the age gap nowadays, it's like the people are growing too fast. It's not that they are very young. See the videos which are going around. They are just enjoying their life. And when it comes to when he have attempted a murder, after this Zumil's case, he has attempted a murder. And then he's saying right now that he's a minor and he is right now roaming around freely because he is having an exam. A murder can give exams. He
And
can
that is
just
the
do a
same.
murder and then
And by the way, Dolly, that is the same in this case, in the Sahil Dhaneshra
Sahil's
case as
case,
well.
yeah.
That minor has also been let out on bail because he needs to take his 10th class examination. And he has to go back to the Juvenile Justice Board only on March the 7th.
Same thing with this Rumil case. He has to go to the judge on 26th of March.
Harshil, Drumil is gone. Meenal is fighting for her life. And the minor is out. The minor is out.
That's the sad part, sir, because when we speak to the the culprits, friends, or maybe some social media supporters, it clearly shows that this guy is not a kid. This guy has no shame. This guy has no guilt because he comes from a family background where there is some powerful support, and he's freely mentioning that this is normal, this could be settled by my father. They come from builder background, so with money they can settle. But this is very bullshit mindset, because out of courtesy also, none of his family members even said a sorry. No apology, nothing. In the span of 10 days, none of his family members even came to see कि उसके बेटे ने क्या crime किया है. And Drumil fought for 10 days. Every other surgery, every neurosurgeon mentioned कि इतना गहरा घाव है that the skull injury and the rib cage fractures exactly how Sahil went through. Same similar structure, but he fought for 10 days, and even after taking multiple second opinions of neuro doctors, they mentioned the injury is irreversible and we couldn't do anything. So the moment I'll just narrate how the accident happened. So on fifth night, Meenal and Drumil, they were returning. They were having a family dinner and they were returning back home. So in Ghatkopar, there is this pipeline road where the road is relatively not very trafficked area, and the minor with his friends, he was riding a Kia Seltos car, and this is not for the first time he was on that road. If you can see this particular reel, he with his friends run a social media page called Ryan Ke Lafde Baaz. So this means like Ryan is a school and Lafde Baaz is their stunts or their activities which they do, and they are very proud of it, because this social media culture, they get encouraged when they get more likes, comments, and so they recurringly did a lot of stunts on that same road in the same car. They also have more videos where they do stunts on two-wheeler, where three people are sitting doing a wheelie, etc. And now when this came out, the entire social media page was deleted. They are trying to dissolve every evidence, and fortunately we have already taken the 65B certificate for this page. So this is not something which they can dissolve now.
I want to...
Coming back to the accident,
Yes.
Drumil and Meenal were riding, going back home on a nominal pace, but this guy was at a speed of more than 120 km per hour, because he came and he came in the opposite lane and hit so bad that the airbag opened. So fortunately this kid's saved, but Drumil and Meenal flew 20-30 meters behind, and the head injury happened over there. And Meenal suffered a lot of injuries in her lower body, multiple fractures on her hand, face. So she's struggling, fighting a lot. The localites over there who eyewitnessed this, they mentioned that there were 4 or 5 people in the car, but immediately after the accident, everyone tried to run away. But a couple of localites caught them and mentioned that this is done by you.
It is such a familiar story. You know, Harsh, and I want to bring Shilpa in on this. I am so terrified right now because every story is the same.
Yes.
Shilpa has been going to the court for 10 years. Shilpa, tell your story. I don't even have the heart to ask a question. I had you on my show 4 days ago, and here you are back again.
Yes. So it's like, it's like living the the bad dream again and again and again, having these nightmares again and again and again. It's so similar and so disheartening. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's like exactly same story. The car, six friends in the car, high speeding. Driver comes out. He has to be given education, so they get bail. The father gets bond ready, and they also get bail. And then the family struggling, no resolution, no outrage. It's just till the time media is on a case, even police or whatever the authorities are involved, they'll also take care. Once it fizzles out from the media, the whole case fizzles out. I am a classic example. I'm a poster child for the delays in the jurisdiction and the justice of this country. 10 years I have been fighting. अभी तक हम ये डिसाइड कर रहे हैं कि is it going to be 304 or 304A. Only thing I can say is, because of the fight that we have had, that now all these cases, they don't have to fight that the parents have to be arrested, because we set that precedent कि the parents have to be at least arrested. No, एक इंसान की जान चलेगी.
Yeah.
You are coming up with a solution कि वो बच्चा है, उनको पता नहीं था, सब अपने अपने घर चले गए, सबने हाथ छोड़ दिए, and then you are stuck.
And I want to tell you, I want to share with all of you one thing. Om Prakash ji, मैं आपके पास आ रहा हूं अभी. If NDTV had not picked up the story, I am not boasting. I am a journalist simply doing my job. I am not asking for any credit. But if NDTV had not picked up the story of Sahil last night,
Yes.
the charges would not have been applied on the father, Dolly,
I agree.
and Harsh and Shilpa. Can you believe that? They would
No,
not have been
I-
applied on the
I
father.
can-
Now they're
I
being
can
applied on the
agree.
father. Now people know that this minor was let out of the Juvenile Justice Board to take his damn 10th class exams. The same case in your case, Dolly, what you just said. Om Prakash ji, Anish के साथ भी ऐसे ही हुआ है, ऐसे ही हुआ था. उसमें भी नाबालिग था. उसमें भी कुछ दिनों बाद
doing their job.
कुछ ही घंटों बाद उसको बेल मिल गया था ऐसे लिखने के बाद.
एंड ये ऐसे वाला तो कौन सा पनिशमेंट समझ में नहीं आता. व्हाट इज द पनिशमेंट?
मैं देख रहा हूँ सेम अनीस की तरह ही बच्चा था, जो बच्चा भी गया 23 साल उम्र थी, सेम अनीस की तरह ही दिखता था, और बिल्कुल यंग लड़का, मतलब हीरो टाइप लड़का जो है, इसको इन्होंने मार दिया. ये हमारे जो केस हुआ है, अनीस गया है, जिससे अनीस गया प्लस अश्विनी, 2 बच्चे की डेथ हुई थी, इससे इनको सीख लेनी चाहिए थी. इन्होंने 2 साल होने जा रहा है अपने केस को, 2 साल में इन्होंने कुछ सीख नहीं ली कि नाबालिग बच्चों को गाड़ी किस कदर दी जाती है, कितने बच्चे मरते हैं, ये इनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. और इनका कारण यही होता है कि पुलिस प्रशासन और नेतन वाले लोग मिल करके इनको बचा लेते हैं, इसलिए ये केस होता है. अभी आप देखिए कानपुर में केस हुआ, हर जगह यही चीज चल रहा है. इसमें तो कम से कम इतना करना चाहिए, जो नाबालिग बच्चा गाड़ी चला रहा है उसको गाड़ी चलाने मिलती कैसे है? इतनी हैवी गाड़ियां नाबालिग बच्चे चलाने दे दिया जाता है, और रोड पे जो बच्चे चलते हैं या जो लोग मारे जाते हैं उनका क्या होता है?
कुछ नहीं होता है सर, कुछ नहीं होता है, कुछ नहीं होता. आपको पता है कि 3 साल से मैं इस स्टोरी को कवर कर रहा हूं, 10 साल से मैं सिद्धार्थ का स्टोरी कवर कर रहा हूं शिल्पा जी के साथ. कुछ नहीं हुआ है, सिस्टम नहीं बदलता है. When there is an underage driver, शिल्पा,
बदलना चाहिए सर. सिस्टम नहीं बदलेंगे तो ऐसे चलता रहेगा सर. कब चलेगा?
हम नहीं रोकेंगे सर. हम तो लगे रहेंगे इस पर, लेकिन अवेयरनेस रेज करना बहुत जरूरी है. डॉली, you know, your sister is fighting for her life in hospital right now. That's why it is even more emotive. This matters to you. It's a matter of life and death for you. How the system responds.
But she has lost her husband last night.
Yes.
It is so difficult for her right now to face this. We cannot see her face. We cannot look after her, like how she is dealing with the pain, with the emotional pain, with the physical pain, with the mental trauma. She has all kind of trauma. And her mother, they were the only, the Drumil was the only son. And Meenal is bedridden, and she has his mother who is right now in trauma. She doesn't know what is happening around her, what to do in the life. She is very shocked. I don't have words what to say. Like, why these kids have given so rights.
Yeah, I said this last night, and I will say this again today. Whether it is 10 years, whether it is 3 years, whether it is 15 years, whether it is 20 years, whether it is Siddharth, whether it is Meenal, whether it is Drumil, whether it is Anish, whether it is Ashwini, whether it is Sahil, I promise you that I will not be distracted from these cases, and I will update my viewers no matter what. whether it means doing it every single day, every single week, every single month. I personally promise you, as managing editor of NDTV, that this will be my big focus here. I'm taking this up personally, and that is my personal promise to all of you. Thank you very much, Harsh, Shilpa, Prakash ji, and Dolly. I pray for the health of Meenal. Dolly, please convey our best wishes to her.
Yeah.
And I wish her the best of recovery as quickly as possible.
Awesome.
And we will be waiting for an update on that. Thank you all for your time tonight here on India Matters.